Oh, yeah.
Mr. Brown, I'll be on the far side.
Okay. There you go, buddy.
Inside this 48 team right now as well. What's this win mean to you after what you guys have been through this season, Jimmy?
Well, I think just a testament to this team, the fact that we'll never give up, that we'll always keep fighting and keep trying to make our cars better. We're not in the chase, we're not where we want to be, fighting for the championship. But great day today here with this Red Vest Chevrolet. I'm so happy to win this race and to say thank you to all the men and women that work in the stores and wear that vest each and every day. It's just a chase that was tough for us, but to redeem ourselves here and come out with a victory is really, really cool. Last week in Homestead when we were testing, we found some speed we were missing, and we found comfort in the car and got it right. Had a great test there. Brought that stuff here, and Bull Red got it done.
You've been through a lot in your 6 championships, but what do you make of some of the things that are going on and the emotions and the fighting and all of the extracurriculars that are going on during the course of this championship run?
Yeah, it's intense. I mean, emotions run high, and when somebody does you wrong, if you don't have a chance to repay them on the racetrack, like most, bring it into the garage area and do something with it there. So emotions are high. That's what we're all in a position to win a championship, and this is what happens. So I'm sure it was highly entertaining today. Can't wait to go back and watch the tape. But once again, just so proud of everybody. Hendrick Motorsports, great car, great engine. Lowe's Chevrolet, just a fantastic day. Cobalt Tools as well.
Your drive was highly entertaining as well. Well done. Jimmy Johnson wins at Texas. So looking back at some of the emotions
We'll go ahead and get started with our post-race press conference. We're now joined by our top finishing rookie in tonight's AAA Texas 500, Kyle Larson, driver the number 42 Target Chevrolet, a 7th place run for you tonight. Talk about your run, and then if you could, talk about the emotions out there and just the chaos that ensued in those last couple laps.
What? I'm sure nobody has any questions for me. So, but it was a not very fun race for me. I was a lot worse than I thought we were going to be. I thought we practiced really well, and when the race fired off, we weren't very good. And I thought we'd get better, but we never did. We kind of got worse and worse and worse, and then we just had a lot of late race restarts to get up there and get a better finish. So disappointing day, but okay to finish 7th where we did, and hopefully we can get some better runs later on in the last 2 races. Sorry, I'm like trying to talk and watch this.
Any questions for Kyle?
Oh,
George?
couple.
Hey, Kyle, George Diaz with the Orlando Sentinel. It's like you're looking at this. I mean, I unfortunately, obviously, you just missed the chase. But when you look at this and you look at this kind of frantic deal that's going on every week, what kind of comes through your head in terms of the new format and how it's playing out?
It's obviously really intense, and those guys that are in this eliminator round are you're trying to get the best finish they can, and I don't know what happened with the 2 and the 24, but obviously it pissed Brad or Jeff off, and so yeah, I mean we saw all the stuff going on at Charlotte and now here, so it just shows how intense this new format is, and it's definitely exciting for me, not being in the chase and being able to watch it, and I know the fans are gotta be loving it.
We're now joined by tonight's 2nd place finisher of the AAA Texas 500, Kevin Harvick, driver the number 4 Budweiser Chevrolet. His 2nd place finish is a career best for him at Texas Motor Speedway. Kevin, if you would talk about those last couple laps, and again, just the chaos that ensued there in those last laps.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everybody was racing for everything they can, and I thought it was, going to work out for us, and we had, a couple cautions there at the end, and weren't able to make it work out. But yeah, the 2 just bulldozed the 24, and the 24 wrecked, and the 48 and the 2 were racing hard, and at that point there was just no rules, so you just stood in the gas and hoped for the best, and then after the race it all broke loose. I just told Brad he needed to get in there and fight his own fight. You're going to drive like that.
You mentioned now it's all everyone's back in the hunt. Talk about that, knowing a good solid run can get you into the championship.
Yeah, that's the main thing. We had a solid night and got ourselves back in the championship running for what we need to do on the weekend. So, next week's going to be pretty crazy. So I'm looking forward to it.
We'll go ahead and continue with questions. Drew?
Kevin, Drew Davison with the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Do you kind of feel for Jeff and what happened to him this week, just considering what happened to you last week?
Yeah, we kind of had the same thing happen last week, so it's it's just everything's just so intense right now, and everybody's just kind of throwing caution to the wind to do all they can for their team. So everybody's racing as hard as they can, and just glad to be in the mix.
Stan?
Stan Creekmore with CompetitionPlus.com. Kevin, switch positions though. If you would have been in the two cars position, would your attempt have been any different to try to get that win?
Yeah, I couldn't run over the 24 or the 48 like that.
One more. Tom?
Kevin, Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Is the two out of control? Is he driving over his head and doing stuff he shouldn't be doing?
No, I don't think so. I think he's just racing as hard as he can for his team, and he's trying to get all you can. But when it gets down to that type of racing, you got to those things are going to happen exactly like they happened after the race tonight. So, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it as long as you're ready to roll.
Drew?
Kevin, obviously there's a lot of talk about you possibly retaliating on Kenseth this race. Kind of talk about your mindset going into that and kind of how you handled it throughout the race.
I just raced. I thought my car was fast enough to win the race and be in contention. So, doing something crazy at that point in the race, and then I never saw him towards the end of the race. So it really wasn't our game plan to get into that situation any further than we needed to. It's like I said before the race. I know he didn't do it on purpose, but in the end we still lost 33 points to the leader, and we got to race as hard as we can to try to get that back.
Stan?
Kyle, I'm sorry, I meant to go to you first anyway, so I apologize to you. Did you simply get better with what you had to finish how you finished, or did the team finally figure out what it was that was holding you back?
I don't know. We were off pretty much the whole race, and we got off really far there, the midpoint of the race, and lost a lap, and was able to get the lucky dog, and still wasn't good after that for a few or 75 to 100 laps, and then and we still really weren't even that good at the end. We just I think we had a little bit fresher tires on than some of the guys in front of us, and everybody leaves the top open, so I'll just go up there and be in clean air and get momentum, and yeah, I mean there at the end I would have liked to line up on the outside, but we did a decent job on the bottom and was able to get to a couple spots and get to 7th. So like I said, it was a little disappointing of a race because I thought we were going to have a really good car after practice, but just didn't shake out that way.
Any additional questions? Right here.
James Belknap, UTA Radio. How much the strategy change going from 129 laps of green flag all the way down to the next 12 for the rest of the race?
You just hoped you were good on restarts and you could hold your own, because it just, everybody was digging for everything they could, and obviously it got to be nighttime as well. So it just, as it gets closer to the end, the intensity ratchets up, and at this point of the year, everybody's just going for broke, trying to win a race and get the best finish that they can to end the season on a good note. So it's good, hard racing. It's fun.
Any other questions? Bob?
Oh, you're late, Bob. You can't ask any questions.
Well, this was asked and answered it. I mean, you obviously felt like Keselowski should go in there and kind of man up there at the end.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to race like that, you're going to have to man up a little bit at some point. I mean, he's done it several times, so you can't just turn around and let everybody fight all the time without you in there. You're going to have to stand up for for your actions at some point yourself. I didn't get in the middle of anything. I just turned him around and told him to go fight his own fight.
Any other questions? Gentlemen, thank you very much.